Hey Kids Connect kids, I miss you so much. This is Sarah broadcasting from home because we're all kind of staying at home these days. And I've got Mel with me. You say hi, Mel.
Hi, I miss you guys.
Today I was going to bring the Sunday school lesson to you all from my couch. Before we start, I've been thinking a lot about you and praying for you all as we've been practicing social distancing and being under the shelter in place order so that we're often staying home or at least far away from people. And remember some of the things that we need to do to stay well. If there's someone who's sick, make sure and stay away from them for now. Stay 6 feet away from people if you're in a public place, which, you know what I was told, 6 feet is about as long as a llama is. So give llama distance between you and other people.
Leave room for a llama.
Leave room for llamas. And you can wear a face mask if you're out in public, so those are really good. Mel and I have our face masks that we wear when we have to go out. Mine's like this. Our friend made them for us. And if you can't find a mask, let me know. I can let you know some people that I know are making them. And we can also, when we cough or sneeze, make sure you do it into your elbow, like that. And then go wash your hands, because it's a good time to remember to wash. And when you do wash your hands, you want to do it for 20 seconds. So that means you should sing happy birthday 2 times while you scrub. And then you rinse off your hands and dry them. So I hope you all do those things to stay healthy, and I hope that you're enjoying some of the good things that come along with being home more with family and enjoying some new activities. Mel, what kind of things have been your favorite that you've been doing while we've been home?
Well, I like making a lot of things, and a lot of coloring. We've done a lot of coloring so far.
We have.
And baking and cooking, those are fun. Playing games, playing outside sometimes.
Yeah, that's good. I like doing all those things too. And sometimes I feel kind of lonely and sad when we have to stay home. And sometimes I'm really grateful that we get to spend time with family. And I want to make sure all of you know that however you're feeling during this time is okay. It's okay to sometimes feel angry because you're frustrated about staying home or needing to do schoolwork from home, or sometimes you may love it because you get to sleep in or stay in your pajamas all day. So anything that you're feeling is okay, and it's important to talk about those things with one of the grown-ups around you. All right, so to get started on our lesson, today's story is from the book of John. Remember, there's all the little books within the big book of the Bible. And we're going to look up the reference in the Bible. So remember, the reference is like the address of the verse or the passage, and it's where it lives in the Bible. So this one lives at John 20:19 through 31. So Mel, can you find John in your Bible? Remember, some of you learned the song that goes Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, and Romans. So you can start at the New Testament and find your own Bible and go to Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts. So then you know it's between Luke and Acts. And you can have an adult help you too. But see, Mel has found John for us, and it's John 20. So she's going to find the big 20. Remember, there's the big numbers and the little numbers. She's going to find 20. There's the 20. I don't know if you can see it so well, but it's there. And then you're going to look for the little 19 to the little 31.
On the next page.
Next page. Good.
17, 18, 19.
19. There it is. And it would be all the way to the little 31. So one more time. That's John 20:19 through 31. So if you want to look there for the exact words from the Bible of the story, you sure can. What I'm going to tell you now is the story just kind of in a little bit of different words, and that's okay too. So I'm going to use the words that Pastor Nancy has helped me figure out so that we can tell the story today. So this story is about when Jesus appears to his disciples. You know, last week we talked about how Jesus had died. He was crucified on the cross, and then he was buried in the cave kind of thing with the big rock over it, and then on Easter how the rock was rolled away and Jesus came out. Jesus was alive again. So since then they haven't seen Jesus, and the disciples are kind of scared because people aren't very happy with them still. People are still kind of after them. So they're kind of hiding in a locked room, like upstairs somewhere, and hoping no one comes to get them. So our story goes, on the first day of the week, it was a Sunday, the disciples were gathered in that locked room because they didn't know what would happen to them because everyone knew that they were with Jesus. This was the Sunday following the crucifixion, Easter Sunday. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Jesus appeared in front of them and said, "Peace be with you." Jesus could see the look of bewilderment, of confusion on their faces as they said to one another, "Do you see what I see?" So Jesus began to identify himself and said that he had the crucifixion marks on his body. They could see the marks on his hand and on his side from being on the cross. And when the disciples saw those things, they rejoiced because Jesus was there among them. Isn't it just like Jesus to show up when all seems hopeless and when we think we're at a dead end? So Jesus said to the disciples, "Peace be with you." And he reminded the disciples that it's because of a relationship with God that he did his work. And so just as Jesus was in the world to do God's work, the disciples were also going to be sent into the world to continue Jesus' work. And that's what we do today. We also go out into the world and do Jesus' work of loving our neighbor and loving God and taking care and being kind to the people around us. So Jesus then shared the spirit of peace with them, which would remain with them and give them power to continue sharing Jesus' love with others. One of the disciples named Thomas wasn't there that day at the meeting with Jesus. And so when he came back, the other disciples said, "You'll never believe it. Jesus was here." But that's the problem. Thomas didn't believe them. And he really doubted that Jesus had ever been there. And he said, "Nope, unless I see the marks in his hands myself and see his side and how he was crucified, I will not believe." Well, about a week later, the same disciples were up in the room, in that same locked room, and Thomas was with them this time, and suddenly Jesus appeared again, and he said, "Peace be with you." And then he turned to Thomas, and he said, "Thomas, look at my hands, and put your hand in my side here." And Thomas did that. Or Thomas said, "It is time to stop doubting and to believe." He said, "My Lord, my God," and he believed. And Jesus said, "You have believed because you see me here, but blessed are those who believe in me but haven't seen me." That's like us, right?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't actually seen Jesus with our own eyes, but we believe. Yeah. So Jesus' miracles are written all throughout the New Testament so that we can come to know Jesus, the Messiah, the Christ, and so we can have life with God. So that's our story for today. And now we wanted to show you a fun project. Just as we're talking about things that are seen or not seen, we have a fun project where you can write a secret message to someone, and then someone else can take that message and color it, and they'll be able to see what that message is. So we'll show you how it works. So what you do, all you need are some white pieces of paper, a white crayon, thank you, Mel, and some washable markers. So what you do, Mel, can you write me a message and I'll write you a message? I'm going to think of a secret message to send to Mel, and as you write with your white crayon, you won't be able to see it, but kind of just do your best to write it there. Okay, Mel, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Mine is right around this area.
Mine is at the top.
Okay. What color do you want to use?
Red.
Okay. So Mel's going to take her red magic marker, and I'm going to take blue. And we did find that the thicker ones work a little better, but the thin ones would work too. So you kind of go to wherever they said the area is, or you could do the whole page if you wanted. And now watch as I color over it. See how that white starts to show up? Mr. Chad is very kindly running our video today. So here we go. As I'm coloring, that crayon starts to appear. Oh, I think I know what it says. That's so cool. Did I find the whole thing?
Yep.
Good. That's the other thing. You could draw different parts on the page. You could draw pictures or write things, and those can be your secret messages to someone else. What does yours say, Mel?
Mel, God loves you.
That's right. And mine says, hi, Mommy. So that's a really fun project that you can do and send secret messages to your friends. You can mail them to people or do it with your parents or brothers and sisters. So that's our project for today. And then I wanted to tell you one more thing. I don't know if all of you have heard from your parents yet as far as getting this, but Pastor Diane sent out an email this past week with some really cool project ideas inside. So if you didn't get that email, you can let me know. I'm going to give you my contact information in the email we send out. Or you can let one of the other teachers know, or Pastor Nancy, and we'll make sure that we get that to you. But it has a lot of different crafts. Mel and I were looking at it this morning. Is there one of those that you're looking forward to trying the most?
Making the baskets or making the bread.
Yeah, or those would both be fun. I'm looking forward to the flowers. I want to make the flowers. So there's many craft ideas there that you can do. And also on there are these pictures of hearts. And you can print out those hearts. And then what I'm going to ask you to do, what Pastor Diane said, is that her sermons, her messages during worship are going to be about the heart, about our hearts. So every time during the worship service, when you watch the recording for this week, every time she says the word heart, you can color in one single heart on one of these pages. And then, after you've finished watching worship with your family, then you can have your grown-up snap a picture of it and text it to me or email it to me. If you wanted, you could mail it to me. And on Wednesday night, I'm going to take all of the entries that I have and whatever ones are correct. So if she says heart 12 times and you have 12 hearts colored, or you have that number written on there, then I'll put you in a drawing. And I'm going to put all those names in a drawing and mix them around. And without looking, I'm going to pick one out. And whoever I pick is going to get a prize from me. So make sure you watch Worship with Your Family tomorrow and that you do our heart project. You can find those again at the end of Pastor Diane's email document that she sent you all. So I will contact you if you want and let you know, okay? So I hope I get lots of those. Otherwise, I miss you all a lot. So feel free to send me emails or videos from text of pictures of you doing fun stuff or new tricks you've learned, songs you're singing, all of those things. I'd really like to keep in contact with you all. So feel free to share those things and let me know how you're doing. And know that I am praying for all of you. I have your list next to my bed, and I say a prayer for each of you every night. So all of you take care. Remember to share your feelings with the people around you, that there's no wrong way to feel right now, because it's a tough time. And I pray that God blesses all of you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.